Hi bitches, what's good? It's Janae. I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be the 6th video in my life story series, which is the series where I go through my life in a chronological order from the time that I was youngest in elementary school all the way up to current day, which is I'm 21 right now. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, go back and watch them. There's a playlist for it. I will link it down below. And follow me on social media so you can stay up to date with me and everything that I do. I am a rapper. That's my primary career. So that's going to be the best place where you can get updates on all my music and my videos too. Also, I do post a lot of my stories, and my stories tend to be fucking lit. So definitely hit up those links in the description. Today's story is picking off from where the Camelot story left off, which is the first time attending a behavioral school. Fast forward to 6th grade, the beginning of my 6th grade year, I had the opportunity to transition back to my home school, which means that they would essentially let me take, I think I was taking 2 classes in the morning at my public home school, and then I'd spend the rest of the day at Camelot, the behavioral school. They do this as a way that so you can kind of earn back going to a public school, and the idea is to eventually full-time go back to your public school. I think the 2 classes that I took at my public school, which was called Marlow Middle School in Huntley, Illinois, I think I took English and history. But it wasn't like a normal public school class. It was still a special needs class. And it was a healthy mix of students with learning and other social anxieties and disorders. And then also students with behavioral issues. Jay was hella chill. When I would come into math class late, I would sit next to Jay, and he would basically just catch me up and give me all the answers, in a low-key way. The teachers never knew. They just thought, I was just doing the work on my own and catching up, which is what I was supposed to be doing. But Jay literally just gave me all the answers, so I never had to do math. Jay was in 8th grade. I was a 6th grader, so I looked up to him. He was, the cool kid in the class. And he told me something that I remember to this day. Now, Jay was in a gang. I'm not going to disclose what gang he was in, but he was in a gang. He was an active gang member. Jay told me something because he saw the road that me and my other friends were heading down. And we were getting to that age where some of my friends were starting to actually join gangs. That does happen that young. When you're 13, 14, people join gangs, sometimes even 12. So he basically pulled me aside and he told me never to join a gang, and he told me all of the shit that he's going through and with his family, and how his family is in the gang too, and so he was brought up in it, and he basically just told me to stay away from that. And I listened to everything that he said because I looked up to him so much. So I think that might be a big contributing factor to why I never actually did join a gang. I was at a bit of an impasse going to both these schools because I was doing very good at Marlow, and my district was happy about that. But Camelot was upset that I was transitioning because I'd come to Camelot and I'd just fuck off and not care, and I'd get in trouble. Because obviously I'm surrounded by a bunch of other kids that don't care, and they're getting in trouble too. And also I'm not motivated to learn or do anything because of that environment. So Camelot didn't want me to transition, but my district did. So there was a bit of a disagreement there. There was one issue that was the last straw for my district, and they actually ended up pulling me and sending me back to Marlow, my public school, full time. And this issue happened during gym class. There's a kid, we're going to call him Jesse. Now, Jesse was friends with Jay, but I never got along with Jesse. Me and Jesse would always butt heads. I don't really know why, but yeah, we just never really got along. We're playing kickball outside for PE, and we're having a good time. Now, Jesse was up to bat. He was I don't know if he was up to bat, but he was behind the batter, behind home plate. And I was out, I think in the infield. I was either in the infield or the outfield, but I was not by home plate. And Jesse's over there talking mad shit to other students throwing up gang signs, and I had enough of his shit because I know this kid's not actually in a fucking gang. He just tries to look cool. And like, if someone's being loud about that and they carry themselves that way, chances are that like they're false flagging. That shit's not real. Because the people that were actually in gangs at those schools, they didn't act like that. They carried themselves in a much more respectable manner. So I called him out. I was like you're a pussy. Like, you're not in a gang. Like, stop false flagging. Like, you a bitch. And this kid fucking pulls out a knife and he starts walking towards me. I'm like probably like 20 or so feet away from him, so I'm not really worried. I'm just looking at him like, what the fuck? And it's an alternative school, so there's tons of staff around. They're always watching. And they basically took him down, took the knife away really quick. And then I was pulled in to the principal office and they're like blaming me for instigating the situation. I'm like, he's acting like a jackass. Like, I'm gonna call that shit out, and he feels like he has to prove something. He's gonna do what? Fucking stab me at school. Like, so that was really the last straw for my district, and they ended up pulling me out of that school and just letting me go back full time because I was doing such a good job at my public school. However, I was not happy about being in these special needs classes because as bad as it sounds, I viewed myself as better than a lot of these students. A lot of these students were socially awkward and had other learning disabilities, and I had behavioral issues, which a few other students did, that I got along with really well. And I actually met my first girlfriend in this class at 6th grade. We're going to call her Debbie. And something I would find out later in life is that all of the women that I dated displayed different traits that like I admired about women and I wanted to like be in myself, like subconsciously. So what I remember about Debbie is that she was a really strong, like funny, smart woman. And like when I say she was strong, like she was literally like that bitch like would fuck bitches up, and she fucked a dude up too. I remember her telling this one story in class where like her and her friend were walking at night and some guy like tried to fucking touch her friend and she just like kicked him in the balls as hard as possible and they fucking ran. I was like, yeah, like that bitch is not a bitch I would fuck with. So I was dating her. It didn't last that long because we were just better as friends. So we were able to keep up the friendship after we dated. But that was my first experience dating somebody. And it was a good one. And it ended well with an agreement that we're better as friends. So that's good. Now, as time progressed, I started to get into more trouble at my public school. I started getting in fights. I started skipping class, not listening, just fucking joking around, fucking around with Debbie, with other students in the classroom. Something I definitely remember from going to this school is that a lot of the students during lunchtime, they would go to the bathroom and we would smoke weed and smoke cigarettes and shit in the bathroom. And I actually started selling little dime bags and shit in the bathroom at school as a way to make a little extra money. Like, sometimes a teacher would come in and, like, kick us all out, but, like, I never got caught with weed. I know a lot of kids did get caught with weed, and they'd be suspended or expelled or whatever, but I was lucky enough just not to get caught doing that. I do want to tell a story from one incident that happened that I find personally funny. So there was this new kid that was in our class, introduced to this program, this fucking special needs classes in this public school, and we're gonna call him Ned. Now Ned is this short, slightly chubby, but like I was bigger than him, and he had a big nose. I never liked him. He was such a smartass. He would bring a fucking calculus book to school knowing damn well that this fucking child does not know how to do calculus. It was like his dad's or some shit, and he would just brag about how much money his dad made. And this kid apparently didn't know who I was because there was a lot of rumors and shit going around about me at the school that I was in a gang, that I was involved in this, that I went to these behavioral schools. And so people generally, like, they were all chill with me. Like, everyone fucked with me. Everybody liked me. I fucking sold weed. Like, how are you gonna hate the plug? But yeah, so basically, people would generally not fuck with me in a bad way. Like, they'd fuck with me in a good way, obviously. But Ned, being new and not knowing this, I'm at my locker and this kid comes up to me and he starts poking me in the stomach, calling me Pillsbury Doughboy. I shut my locker and I fucking slam this kid into the locker and I just deck him once and he like slumps down. I just walk away. I just go into my class like nothing was wrong. And this class that I was going into was actually not in the special needs classrooms. It was a like normal class. We did get to do that a little bit for like 1 or 2 periods throughout the day. And the craziest shit was is that as soon as I got in that class, kids started like coming up to me like, "Did you just beat up Ned? Like, did you beat the fuck up out of Ned?" I was like, how does anyone know about this? I could have sworn I was the only one in the hallway. It was just me and Ned. But apparently there were people watching. Due to this and a few other incidences, I was called into the principal's office and they showed fucking video clips of me. What they said was bullying. I don't think it was bullying because I would never really like hurt anybody unless if they fucked with me. Like, I'd be mean to some kids, I'm not gonna lie. I could be a bit of a bully, but the instances that they called bullying, like, I would never get physical with someone unless if I felt like I needed to. So they suspended me for about a week, and that was like the first incident where that was happening, and it just started to get worse and worse, and I'd get suspended more and more. And so eventually, towards the end of the year, there's literally 1 month left, and I'm in an IEP meeting. If you know what an IEP meeting is, they're fucking bullshit. You definitely know that. It's basically students that have behavioral or special needs, fucking learning disability, shit like that. They have an IEP, which I could go into it, but I don't fully understand it, to be honest. But you always have these meetings once a year where your teachers and other staff and shit talk about how you're doing and what you need to work on, shit like that. I was in this meeting and I was getting annoyed by my dad, by one of my teachers I fucking hated, and the principal. And I just couldn't take it. I didn't want to sit there and listen to them shit on me, talk down to me like this, like I'm not in the room. So I got up and I was like, fuck this, I'm fucking leaving. I don't know why, but the vice principal, for some reason, wanted to get in my way and block me from the door, telling me I couldn't leave and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, get out of my way. And this is a big dude. Not a very tall dude, but he was stocky. He was like really big and stocky. He wrestled in high school, so he was a pretty strong guy. And I end up just straight fucking decking him in the face. Obviously, he just takes that punch because I'm in 6th grade, but he basically tackles me. And then they call the police and I'm fucking arrested and they end up taking me to the fucking hospital to be evaluated. I don't really know why I was taken to the hospital. I guess it's because I was only in 6th grade and like they're not gonna fucking like put me in a jail cell or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that was actually the first time that I have ever been arrested. And it was crazy because they put handcuffs on me and they fucking like took me out like in front of all the students and shit. Everyone was like shocked as fuck. Now, for this incident, they had wanted to fucking expel my ass right then and there, but there's a guy, his name is Mr. Francis. Now, Mr. Francis's job was he would work with all the kids that have been kicked out of the district. So the kids that went to these behavioral schools, his job was basically to be the in-between, middleman between those kids and their families and the district. And he would go around to the alternative schools and he'd have meetings and shit and like see how everything's going. And it's his goal to try to get these kids back into the public schools. Now, he's the one that got me into Marlowe, and he knew I was a good kid, like deep down in my heart, and he didn't want to see me fail. So he arranged something with the district that if I went to a Lexian Brothers, which is a mental health hospital sort of program thing, that if I did this program over the summer, that I could come back the next year. And that's honestly where I'm going to leave it off, on a bit of a cliffhanger. The next episode will be a story about that fucking mental hospital that I had to go to for my entire summer. Anyways, I love y'all bitches. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Stay lifted. Peace out. Little bitch, watch what you saying. Bitch, ain't know I'm not playing. Pulling your block and I'm spraying. Diamonds like water, they raining. Making this music, I'm painting. Watching my wrist, yes, aching. I cannot fuck with the faking. Watch your shit get taken. Little bitch, watch what you saying. Bitch, ain't know I'm not playing. Pulling your block and I'm spraying. Diamonds like water, they raining. Making this music, I'm painting. Watching my wrist, yeah, I'm aching. I cannot fuck with the faking. Watching your shit get taken. I cannot talk to these hoes. They wanna tell on me, bro. They wanna fuck on my bros. I am not keeping it close. But bitch, fuck it, cause that's how it goes. I'm chillin', I'm smoking like whoa. Smoking right out of the O. Put it right down.